Okay, hi guys, Ace here. This is part 3 of my updated Pokemon plush collection for 2018. So, if you followed the last couple episodes, you'll know that I had to split these up into individual. Like the first episode, Generation 1, ended up being like close to half an hour. The one after that, Generation 2, like just over 20 minutes, so yeah. Well, that one mostly because of all the frickin' handmade unknown plushies, which, again, I will remind you, most of them are for sale, except for the store-bought one. All the others, for sale. If you want to buy them, I will have my DeviantArt linked in the description. You can note me there. Anyway, let's just get into this episode, and speaking of... right off the bat, 1, 2, and 3 handmade Love Disc plushies. Also, all for sale. Made from fleece and basic design, but still very much Love Disc. I am taking offers on these. If anyone wants to buy them, note me on DeviantArt, link in the description. Anyway, yeah. Next we have, this little Trico plushie. Fairly old. Came out. Got this not long after Ruby and Sapphire came out, so maybe 14 or 15 years old, roughly. I don't know. In that same line, if I can find it in here. Mudkip. So I heard you like Mudkip plushies. Yeah. Same model, same line, got it on the same time. The only thing is that it's got a little bit of marking here from we were depainting my room, so a little bit stuff fell on there, but other than that, it's in pretty good shape. And if I can find the, here we go, Torchic from that same line. Same age, very good condition. Alright. Now we have tiny little, Skitty, yes. Little Skitty. I don't remember when or where I got this, but it's fairly recent-ish. Very good shape. I probably got it at a convention, I think. Another little guy. Chimecho. Again, don't remember exactly where and when I got it, but it's Chimecho. Actually, I think it might have been one of those Pokeball ones. Ones that pop out of a Pokeball. Oh, here's another custom-made one. A Registeel that I made not too long ago. Maybe a year ago or so. Can't remember, but I'm not planning to sell this one, but I may take offers if I'm given a good enough deal. We'll see. Again, DeviantArt, linked in the description. Here we have a little chibi Latios. Got it at a toy store a few years ago. And here we have a little Plusle. It's actually the second Plusle plushie I've gotten. And It's starting to show a little bit of age already. I can't remember exactly when I got it, but here's the first Plusle plushie I got, and yes, I added a little felt dress to it. You know, starting to notice a pattern here. Anyway, yeah, first Plusle plushie I got, and let me find it. Here we go. Here's the first Minin plushie I got at the same time, same batch, same place. They just sort of lie down like that. Minion. And here's the Minin from the other line that I showed you that I got slightly more recently, the one that stands up. And that wasn't enough. A much more recent Minin I got like maybe less than a year ago. This one's a lot more densely stuffed, it's a bit taller, and I think just generally better made. And wouldn't be complete without another Plusle in a dress, because why not? This dress is made out of fleece instead of felt, because I learned a long time ago that felt is not the best stuff to make things out of. It falls apart. We have a chibi little Latios, somewhat similar to the Latios, except this one's made from a better material. Funny story behind this, I ordered this one online, one of only 2 plushies I ever ordered online. And when it finally totaled with all the shipping costs and tolls and stuff, it ended up being over $70 freaking dollars. Yeah, you live and learn. A tiny little Latios plushie that I got at a convention. Definitely cost me less than that other one. Can't remember how much, but it wasn't that. It looks kind of like a little dart. Wee. Anywho. Probably my best Latios plushie. Fairly recent. The wings are stiff plastic in there, not going anywhere. The arms, everything, I just love this thing. It's very well made. I love it. Now, a Latios to go with it, but wings not nearly as, very floppy wings. Look at that. Not supposed to do that. Other than that, though, it's well made. It's just those wings, man. And then we have one with a different problem. The wings are fine, see? Stiff wings. Whoops. But look at the back! That's not what a Latios' butt is supposed to look like. What were they thinking? Why? That's not a Latios butt. Look, let me show you the other one. This is a Latios butt. This is not a Latios butt. Anyway. Here is a little Azuril that I bought second hand from a friend. So, therefore, is probably much older than when I got it. And another plushie I bought second hand from a friend that I've actually been told is quite rare. This Deoxys. I don't have a lot more to say about it, but it's a little chibi Deoxys. Here we have a Linoon. Again, not a whole lot to say. It's a Linoon. It's a well-made Linoon. Here we have a Jirachi that I think I got at Anime North. I can't remember though. I got it somewhere. Might have been Comic-Con. I don't know. Regardless, it's very floofy Jirachi. we have a tiny little Gardevoir. I do believe I also got at a convention. See, it's this little bell shape. It looks like a Christmas ornament. I have a large Gardevoir plush. Got it at a toy store not too long ago. I think better design than that other one. I should note now that I actually have a little Ralts plush somewhere, but I cannot seem to find it at the moment. Perhaps if I do, I will add it into a later video. But regardless, I have one of my favorites out of all of my collection. This Curlia that I got also at Anime North. This is an awesome freaking Curlia plushie. I added the necklace though. It just looked right. I freaking love this thing. Now we have this Sableye I got not too long ago. It was on special because the Loblaws, like last year, they put out a set of like ghost type Pokemon plushies for Halloween. And not all of them sold. In fact, some of them are still there now, over a year later. So they went down in price. So I got this one for fairly cheap. And here we have a Mawile, even with a clampable jaw, swivelable head, that I got at, I think it was Comic-Con just this past year. My friend Jackson hates this Pokemon. I like to tease him about it. And last but not least, Ditto Absol. Yes, technically Ditto is a Generation 1 Pokemon, but it's modeling itself after an Absol, so I'm counting it as Gen 3. I'm surprised this even exists. It's not even a custom-made Pokemon. This is actually an official Pokédoll from Japan, so they actually made this officially. So, I got myself one. This derpy little Absol stare into its little polka dot soulless eyes. And, well, this was certainly the shortest of these so far. Only like just 13 minutes now. So yeah, that has been the Generation 3 edition of my current Pokemon plushie collection. I've been Ace, keep one up your sleeve, and I'll see you in the Generation 4 batch video. Okay, so I'd started recording this episode, but I wasn't actually recording. I'd forgot to press the record button, but that's okay. I'll just, start this over. Anyway, I'm Ace. Hi, this is my fourth part of the my updated Pokemon plushie collection series for 2018. We are now up to the Generation 4, the Sinnoh ones. If you've seen the previous 3 episodes, you'll see why I needed to split this up into separate episodes, because it's a lot. Anyway, let's not waste any more time. I got this, there's this Pachirisu that I made myself a few years ago from fleece fabric. I really like how this one turned out. It's one of my better ones, I think. And here is a Buizel, about a few years old, maybe. Actually, I determined during that non-recording footage that it's most of this era was of plushies. This one doesn't have the tag, but some of them do. That these came from around between 2006 and 2008-ish. Here we have a Chatot, which does have the tag. See the little Pikachu on a Pokeball. That means it's from that era. Remember from the Mystery Dungeon? I am so annoying. I'm Chatot. You will never find a washroom pen, ever. If anyone's watched that Let's Play. Also from that era, a Chingling. Little bell Pokemon thing that evolves into Chimecho that you saw in the previous episode. Another one from that era, it's a Glammeow. Little moon head thing. Weird head. Here is a Manaphy, also from that era, even though I cut the tag off. Manaphy. And here we have little chibi derpy Leafeon from the same batch as the you know, other little chibi evolutions in the previous episodes, like the Eevee, Flareon, Jolteon, Espeon, those ones. Speaking of which, little chibi Glaceon from that, well, interesting story behind this. I had one similar to this that I'd gotten with those other ones at Comic-Con, but it was a little odd looking, a little misshapen, a little miscolored. So when I found this one at a store that looked a little better, I got this one and gave that other one away. So yeah, this one's better. Here's a derpy chibi little Gallade. I think I got it at Anime North. Got a lot of things at Anime North. It's made by Ben Presto, this one. Most of my plushies are either from that certain, you know, North American release era or Ben Presto. Here is a Pachirisu, one that I've had since early high school. Starting to show its age a little bit. This one I carried around a lot before I made that custom-made one. Honestly, I actually kind of prefer my custom-made one slightly over this, but this one's still good too. And this is a little Finneon, one of the ones that popped out of a Pokeball from that, you know, line. I'm not really too attached to this one. I may offer it up on Kijiji or whatever if someone wants it. From that same line is this little Rotom. Also popped out of a Pokeball. Tiny little Rotom. Here is a Shinx, which with somewhat of a funny story behind it. I bought this at Toys R Us, except it wasn't one of the ones that they were, you know, normally selling. It was just sort of left there, and I think what happened is someone either just forgot it there or donated it or whatever, and so they put it on the shelf to sell, and I picked it up for myself. See, it even came with its own little scarf, and I looked it up online later. It was from a exclusive line of Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky plushies, of all things. Hence the purple scarf. Later, I added these blue footpad things, footpaw things, since originally it was just the generic black, making it a male Shinx, but never really saw any female Shinx plushies around, you know. It was always just a generic male one with the all black at the back, but so I decided to change that, you know, make a female one. Shinx. Here is a Bronzor plushie. Yeah, kind of an odd thing to make a plushie out of, eh? It's just this, based off a bronze mirror, I guess, from a Japanese legend. Looks kind of more like a gear though. But then they did end up making an actual gear Pokemon later. But yeah, I can never figure if it's supposed to go this way or this way. I guess it doesn't really matter. Almost symmetrical anyway. Yeah, here we have a full size or full, more accurate looking Gallade plush that I got at a store. Basically the same make and model as the large Gardevoir that I showed off in the previous episode. Next up we have a Regigigas. This one I got a number of years ago. It might actually even be from that same era that I mentioned was like 2007-ish, because I do remember having this when I was in high school. But yeah, it's Regigigas. Here we have, oops, hit the light there, tiny little Happiny, one of the ones that had the pops out of a Pokeball gimmick. Here we have a Darkrai. Got this one in another toy store a number of years ago. It's got Japanese tag on it, meaning it's probably made in Japan and then imported. A little string here hanging on something if you want. Here's a twofer. Shaman and Shaman Skyform. Both I got both of these at the same time, actually as a Christmas present. I saw them in a store once. I said I want those for Christmas, and so I got them for Christmas. Shaman. And another, this one a threefer. Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf. Got those ones slightly more recently than the others from that era, but still from that same era. It's just I cut the tags off, so I can't really check exactly when they were made, but somewhere around the same time. It's the Lake Trio from Sinnoh that everyone accused of being a ripoff of Mew, but then again, they did the same with Celebi, Jirachi, Manaphy, and Victini. The last of those I will be discussing next episode. Yeah, speaking of unpopular Pokemon, here's Licky. Yeah, I have a Licky plushie. It's just a big, derpy, fat Lickitung. I don't hate it as much as other people do. And anyone kind of knows it looks kind of like Majin Buu, but sticking his tongue out. Has a little string on, hangs on, big tongue, yeah. Licky. Here we have a custom-made Lucario plushie by me. Made this a couple years ago. I mean, this actually took me a long time to try to get the proportions right. It was really hard, especially the head. It's just, yeah. And then we have a Chibi Pokédoll Lucario. The first Lucario plushie I ever got. You have this little Riolu from that same era as the late 2000s era that I added tights to just because I wanted to. Then we have a more recent Riolu, one that might even still be in circulation now. Bigger head, and it fits, it sits. And, yeah, made by Tommy, whatever. We have my most recent Lucario. This one I got this year. Best Lucario plushie I've ever found so far. Yeah, I got that one at a convention. Really love it. And here's a good old one. A Baneri that I put angry eyebrows on because of my evil Baneri character, Bennett, from my DeviantArt channel. Although that one now has like a big two-faced like scar, which would be kind of hard to replicate on a plushie, so I just give him angry eyebrows. Angry. And lastly, another Glaceon. This one I prefer over, well, I wouldn't say I prefer it over my other Glaceon, but it's more correct looking, if that means anything. It's not like a derpy little chibi thing, it's more, looks like a Glaceon. This one I got at a store too. See, there, it's Glaceon. So anyway, another short-ish episode. So yeah, I've been Ace. Keep one up your sleeve, and next time it will be Gen 5. Maybe I'll smash Gen 6 and 7 in with it. We'll see. So until then, bye.